This is episode 65 of the After Gambling Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about some ideas to help you make it through quarantine without gambling. Hey there, and welcome to another episode of the After Gambling Podcast. My name is Jamie. I'm a former problem gambler, and I'm also the host of this show. I haven't gambled in nearly 10 years. This July 15th of 2020 is going to be 10 years, so I'm looking forward to celebrating that. And now I do this little podcast to help other people that have had their life impacted by gambling that are choosing to quit. So this isn't for everybody, but this is for those people that want to make a change in their lives. And I do this little podcast to kind of share my story, the things that are working for me, the things that didn't work for me, so you can kind of learn from my experience and improve your life. So that's why I'm here. Now today I wanted to jump into some of the things that have really been helping me as we go through quarantine. I have no idea how many weeks it's been. I know it's Monday today when I'm recording this. We're probably 6 or 8 weeks into quarantine. Have to do the math to figure it out exactly, but it really doesn't matter. But what really matters is I wanted to share with you some of the things that have really helped me in this time. And I know it's been a time that's been very difficult for a lot of people because they're at home and habits are messed up, habit loops. And we always talk about habits and how habits play such a role in gambling and gambling problems. And so now as you have these patterns that are normal everyday patterns, work, family, school, whatever those things are, they're just all out of whack. And so today I wanted to talk about some of the things that, like I say, have been really helping me to kind of stay on track. In a lot of ways, I mean, I'm actually really doing quite well in this time. It's something I almost feel a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, guilty, I guess, I really feel like I'm kind of thriving in this time. And I think a lot of it is the skill sets and the things that I've learned over the years after having my gambling problem. And some of these were before, but a lot of them have been after, and some of the personal growth things that have helped me just kind of be resilient. And that's really what I really want from this podcast for everyone that's listening, is to help you build some resiliency, because there's no perfect path forward. But I want to build a resilient path forward. And so that's what I'm doing today, is sharing some of those ideas that are really helping me. And I talked in an earlier episode about morning routines. And that's one that's definitely a big piece of this, and just routines in general. I haven't always been the best at developing routines in my life. And with quarantine, I knew that I really had to jump into routine. And it was going to play a much bigger role to create those important, I guess, boundaries around work and family and personal life. So simple things like in the morning, getting up and going and taking a shower, getting dressed as if I'm going to work. And yes, I work in hoodies. I'm used to working at home. So sometimes that meant throwing on a hoodie and sweatpants. But just that act of going up and doing some normal things, getting dressed, doing your hair, it kept me in and continues to keep me in a state where I feel like I'm transitioning. And I think that's one of the big things, is that I'm transitioning from task to task. And it allows me to have some sense of normal in these times which are really uncertain. So simple things like even just, I'm not great at this again, but putting down my smartphone, putting it in a place when it's family time, or shutting down my laptop. Those habits and creating those boundaries from work or school or personal life have been really important. So that would be one of my first ones to throw out there, is if you're struggling a little bit, try and create some separation between these different things. Because when we're home, and they all start to bleed together, it can be stressful. We can feel anxious, like we're not able to get everything that we want to get done. So that's one of those things I'll throw out there right now. First off, build some habits, continue to build on your habits, see the ones that are working, what's not working, and continue to go from there. Modify the ones that aren't working and continue to really focus and make sure that you're tracking and doing the things that are helping you. Now, the next one that I've really added in, and this is one of those habits that I've always sort of done, but I've made it a point to make it more of a daily habit, and I see the importance and the value in it, is walking. Getting outside and walking. And I should say up front, I understand I'm extremely lucky that where I live, our little community, our little allotment, I'm able to get outside and go for walks and not come directly into contact with other people. We don't have the lockdown restrictions to where we are limited in exercise. So I can get out social distance and still get out and enjoy a walk, whether it's in a park, but pretty much for now, they've all just been around my neighborhood. And I just go out and I just meander. And typically I'd listen to podcasts when I go for walks, but recently I've been doing them without music or podcast even, and just kind of using it really as a time for reflection. Sometimes these are typically during the midday. Sometimes I'll do one in the morning, and I'll do another one at midday around lunchtime, and get out. And it's a great opportunity to just get out and clear my head or think through some of the things I'm working on at work. And a lot of those things really gain some clarity with that walk. And there are times I take work calls on the walk. I'll call somebody and we'll talk through things that are work calls. But that act of walking, I really believe that there's so many healing powers and so many good things that just come out of walking. And so using it as a form of meditation as well as exercise, you get your vitamin D, you get some sunlight. It's important to get outside if you can and do some walking. And this is something that I've always enjoyed. I mean, I could go get lost. And a lot of times when my mind starts to run and I get a little overwhelmed, I'd go find the park and I'd go for an hour or 2 hour hike. And it's something that's always really been beneficial to me. I feel rejuvenated afterwards. I tend to get some clarity of my thoughts. So using those walks, and again, this is just a habit that I've built in of doing the exercise, the habit of walking, and walking meditation has been huge. So I encourage you, if you can get outside, if the restrictions have been lifted, get outside and go for a walk. You kind of address a lot of different things at once with this simple act, and it's something that anybody can do. And the length of time doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's sunny, if it's snowing. I have boots that I put on. I went out for a walk today in the rain. It's just enjoyable. Put on some clothes that you need, some layer up with a jacket, hat, whatever you need, and get outside and walk. I promise you, it's something that's been extremely beneficial to me. And if I don't have that, I definitely feel pent up and I don't feel as relaxed and at ease. So give a try to walking meditation and just walking in general. Any length of time, any place, whatever you can do it. A third thing that's really been helpful, and this is one of those core components of the things that I think have helped me be successful, is connecting, finding ways to connect. Whether it's be our Monday night group, our typical GA meeting has moved online. So we've been doing that on Zoom calls. And we've actually had some people join in. Andy Margett, I think it's episode 47, but a lot of you know my name is Andy from the UK. He jumped on one of our Monday night groups, and it was great. We have somebody else that's joining from out of state. We've had somebody from Canada jump in. So it's been cool to kind of continue to connect. While we can't physically be connected at the place where we normally have our meetings, we're able to jump online, and it's just nice to see those faces and connect with those other people, to hear their stories and to hear what they're doing through this time has been huge. So I encourage you, there are call-in meetings, there's online meetings. If you need a meeting, let me know. You can jump on ours. We'd love to have you. But finding ways to connect. And we've done this, again, like I say, with Zoom. Even during the week, I've messaged a couple of people and jumped on with some folks in the UK and from around the world to just talk about things. Sometimes we talk about gambling stuff. Sometimes we just talk about family. Using this time to reach out to people is a great opportunity. We're all looking for a little extra human interaction, right? And we're kind of pent up at home. So using those opportunities to connect with, whether it's family or friends or other people in recovery, whatever the case may be, use this time to seek out these new ways. And that's Zoom. It's a little weird at first, and then you realize, hey, it's just a way to connect. And it doesn't fulfill all those needs, but it fulfills a lot of them. So look for ways that you can connect, be creative, use the technology available. Even if it's as simple as just going on Twitter or Reddit, Discord, whatever the case may be, jump on those things, connect with people. It's been huge for me. I continue. There hasn't been too much of a gap. And that's why I know people that only attend GA meetings. Now it's been a couple months. They haven't been able to get to a GA meeting. So that's not a good thing. I don't think that's a great way. I mentioned resilience earlier. We want to build as many different things into recovery plans and improvement plans so that we're not kind of reliant on one thing, so that if one thing goes wrong, then the whole system falls. And that's why, like I said, I share all these different things, because the more that we add in and the more that I add in my life, the easier everything gets. So definitely find some people to connect with and reach out and stay in touch with them. A fourth thing that I want to highlight, and it's something that kind of came to light in the early days of tracking this coronavirus, COVID-19, I was really diving into the research and following the people and just consuming more and more information. And a lot would be similar, like early when I started this podcast, I was consuming so much information around gambling and gambling habits, problem gambling. At some point, I think we all need to get to the point where we feel comfortable with our knowledge, the stuff that we're taking in, to where we just say, and this is where I got to the point, I said, look, I've reached critical mass. I've taken in all the information that I need to take to make decisions for today and for the foreseeable future. And it's not that I'm shutting everything out, but I'm not actively going out and trying to pull in additional information that I need in order to make these decisions for today. I keep my ears open. I'm definitely not tuning everything out, but there wasn't a need to continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And I think that's something that can help us, whether it's with COVID or with other areas of our life. Once you get to the point where you feel comfortable, you can make a decision, just make the decision and move forward. Continue to revise your plan as you go, but that action, the universe rewarding action, that's a big part of this. And it's really been something that's been helpful for me. I got to the point early on where I was like, look, I know what decisions I want to make personally and for my family for the next 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever it may be. And if there's new information that comes in, I'll definitely listen to it and I'll run it through. But at this point, I feel pretty comfortable. I'm confident in my decision. And I think that confidence that I hit on right at the end is the important one. And I think that's when we're gambling, we start to lose confidence in ourselves, in our decision-making, which makes sense, right? We don't trust ourselves. But what part of recovery and part of improving and part of getting through a tough time like this is to trust yourself, trust your judgment, to make good decisions. And then you don't have to kind of continue to stew on them and focus on them. You can really just kind of say, hey, I got enough information. I'll continue to listen to stuff, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start moving forward. So wherever you are in your life, and whether it's work or family, gambling, look at your information. Say, hey, do I have enough to make a decision to move forward for the next day, for the next week, whatever that time frame is, and then just do it. And then as new information comes in, that's fine, but you don't need to continuously seek out information. And I think with the news media cycles, they obviously want to suck us into that vortex and keep us in and listening to more and more information. Just like gambling, they want us to gamble more and more and be more focused on that. The moment we step aside from that and say, hey, I got critical mass, I'm good, I'm going to go forward, everything gets so much easier. So I encourage you to kind of look for, are there ways in your life that you can say, hey, I've reached critical mass here, I know what I need to do, and just start taking those actions to move forward so that your mind can just rest. And then the fifth and final one I'll throw out there is just really focus on your mindset. And it's becoming harder and harder to deny that we are what we think in a lot of ways. And it's not that we're trying to control our thoughts. We can have random thoughts come in, right? They're just thoughts are thoughts. But if we can focus on our mindset and reframe situations, and whether we look at them and say, okay, hey, here's the opportunity to move forward. That's the positive side of it or the negative side of it. Whatever we focus on, whatever we convince ourselves, I think it just comes true. So as you look at this, I mean, I've reframed this. This is a great opportunity for me to spend more time with my family. It's a great opportunity for me to work on things around the house. I've gotten some honeydews done. There were several honeydews that I jokingly said to my wife, I'm like, hey, that took 2 hours to do. And then I was like, no, it didn't. It took like 6 minutes. I think combined, they might have taken 15, 20 minutes to get done. And they'd been on my list to do forever. I just was avoiding it. So using this time to kind of dive into those things and just get those little things done. And overall, just kind of stepping back and seeing this as an opportunity. It's a great opportunity to continue to develop yourself. You have plenty of time to read. Seek out other people's opinions, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. Seek out new mindset ways. I mean, read some different books that really kind of tune your mind in to challenge your current worldview, or to just kind of develop yourself. Work on some of those character defects, or just, they don't even have to be defects, just things you want to get better at. Maybe it's time management. Maybe it's organization. All those things are huge and just will help you to have a better outlook and to really focus. And when things come in, you can kind of look at them and decide that, hey, you want to have a good day and you want to do things that are good and that lead you to the place that you want to be in life. So I think as gamblers, we all had a vision in our head of where we wanted to end up. We just kind of took the wrong path to get there. And then my fifth and final one, and this is probably the biggest one, clean up your spaces. I've focused so much in the last little bit about just kind of clearing out junk and to really keep my workspaces clean and the kitchen clean. I mean, we're cooking all our meals at home and I'm getting dishes done. I'm not letting them sit and pile up. I'm just kind of tackling things as they come, knock them off, check them off the list, put things away. I mean, I was always in the habit of just leaving things in places and, I'll go put that away next time. No, just go put them away. When you're done with work or with whatever it is, playing with the kids, put the games away. Keep everything neat and tidy. It's amazing to me how the cleaner my desk is and how I don't have all the messiness out there, my mind just follows suit. And so as we're in this time where we're in these smaller quarters and we need to give each other a little bit more grace and space, as we're in these smaller quarters, keeping your space clean and going through and doing some of the cleaning projects that you've been putting off, it's amazing how much better you feel when you get those things done. So definitely work on keeping your spaces clean, putting things away, not letting things pile up. It's amazing. I think so many of those things were procrastination. In a lot of ways, like my gambling was procrastination. I was putting off the inevitable of getting a job, a real job, and taking responsibility for my life. But once we do those things and we start just kind of doing the monotonous stuff, and cleaning can be a monotonous thing, but it can also just be a relaxing, meditative type of thing. So look for ways that you can kind of clean up around the house and just kind of tidy up. And I promise you, I think that's one of those things, like I say, that I wouldn't have thought was such a big thing, but it's been huge for me to kind of keep my spaces clean, and my mind has followed with it. So there you go. There are 5 things that you can kind of focus on to help you get through this time and any time. It doesn't have to be just in times of quarantine. I think these are the tips and advice that we can use on a day-to-day basis, 365 days a year, or 366 days on leap years like this year, to improve our lives, to build up that resilience, and to just become the person you want to be, and keep taking steps towards living the life that you want to live, because that's why you're here, right? I think anybody that's listening to this, I know why I'm doing this, is to just move myself closer to that person that I always envisioned myself, but that gambling never helped me fulfill that dream. So keep taking small steps, keep improving. And by all means, if you have any questions or thoughts for future episodes, reach out. The next few are going to be focused on user-submitted topics. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all those listeners that have submitted ideas for upcoming episodes, and I look forward to tackling those in coming episodes. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a therapist, I'm not any of those things with letters before or after my name. I'm just a guy that had a gambling problem and that has figured out a way to not have a gambling problem. And I share my stuff, hopefully to help provide you with some education or some insight into a path that might help you to living a better life. But please seek out professional help. This is an important thing to get the right people on your side early on, and any time is a good time to get those people on your side. So reach out to those professionals and get the help that you need and deserve. Finally, music for the show is something Elated by Broke for free and is licensed under the Creative Commons license. My name is Jamie. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.